Hello viewers and welcome to my new Mercedes A45. I put a poll out on for the channel members to choose which car I should drive next, not including the Audi and the Hyundai, and the Mercedes came up trumps. We are running this car with zero ABS because I want to try and improve upon my braking habits and ultimately become a bit quicker into the corners. And I'm also, as I'm getting pushed around the track by the MG Frostbite 5007, I'm also running my own tune. I did try a number of other people's tunes in the tune list, and I felt it felt massively wooden. Suspension was too hard, understeer was quite phenomenal, things like that. So using a Ford Focus and the MG as a baseline-ish, and then going from there, I created the tune I am using now, which is an absolute blast. As we come over the bridge, keeping on the left hand side, going up the inside, braking it early. The Focus then goes into the side of me because as they turn in early, and I get a lovely little penalty for it. Somehow that collision avoidable contact, I could have avoided that contact by the Ford Focus driving into the side of me. Somehow I could have avoided that because if I should have gone onto the lawn or something, you know. Well done, Forza Stewards, that was totally my fault. If you do think I am at fault for that one, let me know down in the comments below, but to me it was more of a racing incident. The Focus turned in, not realizing I was there, and we just basically touched doors or rubbed doors or whatever you want to call it. Nobody was put off or anything like that, so I don't see the penalty being necessary. But hey, like I say, let me know down in the comments below. As we come over the hill, Peugeot goes off track, comes back on, and I go into the back of them because they decide to block me, so I'm moving out of the way whilst I'm going a lot faster. So instead of braking, I just go into the back of them instead. I'd rather not lose any speed and give them a little push along, and I pass them anyway. Braking early, you can see the back end of this car stepping right out, and that is a key factor in this car. The back end does like to slide out, and the Peugeot goes into the side of me because clearly there's not a lot of room through that corner. I undertake the Audi, cut the corner across, and power on through. Audi goes a little bit off track, and that's them in the bin because that corner is an absolute bugger. If you go into the grass, you're going into the sand, and that is it. It just destroys your speed. Coming over the bridge, looking out for the painted wall. When the painted wall stops, that's your braking point, down to third gear, coasting it through this corner and then powering on through. As you can see, I have a Lavorg in my rear view mirror. Breaking out the second sign in because they've changed the painting on the sign. Now it's no longer a white sign, it's 3 red signs. So it's the middle sign you start braking, and then ultimately turn in. Up the hill we go, and flat out through this section. As we come over this bit here, turning right, letting off the throttle, let the car coast round, and as we get underneath that gantry, start accelerating out the side, keeping to your right hand side, and then when you bring it back over to the left, you're pretty much straight through this section. Although I do S it a little bit, it's pretty much flat out straight through. Down the hill we go, and catching up to the Audi in front. So by lap 3, we are already in P3 position. I know we only started in 7th place. It wasn't a very full lobby, but to be fair, for a first time driving Mercedes, and Mercedes not being the ultimate car, that's usually the Audi or the MG, this track will actually, to be fair, would be the Lavorg because of the tyre wear on it. But we're doing very, very well. Going through on the Audi and accelerating out to the side. Audi goes off track as well, and that is them in the bin too. Now we have a stale bit of area to talk about the car. It's okay. I got a little bit of charm for it, I've got to say. There's a little bit of charm for it. Is it amazing? No. But it does have, like I say, it does have an essence of charm to it, and it is a pleasure to drive, especially when that back end comes out and you just slide it through the corner and it just holds that back end out throughout the whole corner until you straighten it up. It really is fun, and it really does help you rotate around the corner as well. Anyway, coming up the hill we go, coasting it round until we get under the gantry again, and then start accelerating out the other side, keeping to the right hand side of the track. You can see the car in front went off track a little bit, but we are in P2 position. Like I say, I do have the Lavorg catching up to me in my rear view mirror. If they do stay quite close to me towards the last lap, I am going to surrender the position to them because their tyres will be in far better condition than mine, and I'd rather not force someone to stay behind and then create a frustration moment where they just want to force their way past me and then we end up having a collision. Rather surrender the position knowing they're going to be faster than me anyway and try and keep up with them so we keep the P2 position overall. I'm on podium and I can't grumble at that. Now we just need to catch up to this Audi in front. As you're coming through here, let off the throttle a little bit, go into the dirt to try and grab the car around a bit more because I'm going very quick through that corner, accelerating out to the side. Under the bridge we go. Now the Mercedes isn't one for top speed, so catching up to the Audi in front is not such an easy feat, let's put it that way. I did notice that with the Mercedes, that even though you're behind a faster car in front, the distance, you don't lose anything really, but you don't gain anything either. So when you're in the slipstream of the car in front, you don't really gain or anything like that. You can see, well, both of our rear ends went out, but I was quicker with the rear end out than they was. Right now, we just need to try and make a move on this Alyssa JXD. Oh my gosh, I can't get it out. Oh, well, they've gone off out the way. That's brilliant. Up and through we go. Powering on through, keeping to the right hand side. The tyres are starting to get very warm. We've got one more lap of this to go. Oh, there we go. Front left hand tyres gone on to minor wear. Okay, both tyres are on minor wear. That is, it's not bad really. I mean, it could be better, but it's not bad. You see the Lavorg is still pushing behind me, so their tyres are going to be in much better condition than mine. They probably only just, they won't be anywhere near minor wear yet, I don't think. But braking at the curb, starting, coasting it round this corner. You can see the back end stepping right out. I'm going quite wide through here. The Lavorg doesn't push their way through, but I'm going to tuck to the right hand side and just keep pushing for the moment here. And then bring it back over to the left, totally miss the apex and stick myself in the bin. So, oh, no, come on, back on the track, Oh no, that Audi's overtaken, oh no. And I've also got that 0.5 second penalty as well. Oh, I would have been content and happy with P2. Right, hammer down, because the Audi's tyres are also going to be worn. So let's try and make this work. Put the hammer down right now. Coming through here, third gear, powering on as early as I can. Down here we go. Could have gone through that corner a bit quicker. Braking at the second sign on the right hand side. Into third gear, coasting it around. You can see the understeer is really starting to kick in. I think my front left hand tyre is on moderate wear now. Wow, that was quick. From minor wear to moderate wear, that was very quick. Anyway, up through here we go. Both front tyres are on moderate wear now, so it's going to be very slippy. You see I'm breathing out of the track now. I don't want that, but I am catching up to the Audi in front. 2 seconds away now. If I keep it to the right hand side, I can go straight through this section here and over the grass we're going to go. You can see now 1.3, 1.2 seconds. Oh, we're really gaining them now. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Straight down here, flat out. I'm going to look to the right hand side, over the curb. Going to proper send it through here. Going to the left hand side to try and block, but ultimately I'm too quick and I go through. It wasn't 0.5 seconds though. Still only ended up in P3. Oh man, that sucks. If I didn't have that penalty, I would have had P2. Never mind. I mean, the next race will be far better because we're at Laguna Seca. But before we get there, I'd like to thank our channel members, which is Andy Good and Jeffrey Anderson. Although it is sunset and it's getting quite dark pretty quickly, you can see a fair few cars. Well, one car's ghosted, so they must have already planned that the guy to the right hand side wasn't planning on starting the race. I get the Hyundai up my left hand side. And as we're coming through our first corner, we are in P6 position, pushing my way through because I might as well just send it right now. And over the curves we go, and look it up, no penalties for that one, no penalties, absolute blast. The Hyundai went in and I sent it through the Hyundai, I sent it over the curve to the Honda. Oh, that was a good send. Nothing like bullying your way through right there on your first corner, is there? We're in P4 position. Why not? Why not? It's very rare I've ever done that. Like, you know, this is probably the first time I've ever just literally sent it through everybody and just pushed my way through. Usually, you know, I'm very passive. I'm going, oh, I'll wait, but nope. I think this car brings out the worst of me a little bit. We're in P4 though. And there's a Honda in front, so hopefully I'll be able to overtake this Honda, really. I should be. Maybe, is the Mercedes faster than the Honda? I don't know. I mean, as we're coming down this straight now, I'm not really gaining on it, but I'm also not losing it. I'm catching up a little bit now. Yeah, I wonder if I am quicker than the Honda. Ah, well, anyway, dabbing the brakes down to about 110 miles an hour. Over the curb we go and send it right through here. Honda weaves around a little bit in front and I'll go up the inside. Ultimately, I back out because I knew the Honda was going to cut the corner. I'm going to send it up in this next corner. It's breaking at the 200 meter board down to third gear, about 80 miles per hour, going through a bit slow, but because you're not using the optimal line, you have to go through slower. I still get past the Honda, and that's what matters more. Now I've just got to catch up to TTV Mark 88 in front and a P1 position, who is 4 seconds away. That is quite a lead they have on us right now, but we do have a lead on the Honda. As long as I can keep that up, we are golden. Coasting around here, back end stepping out, lovely little slide there. And that's what I mean, when you get that slide in this Mercedes, it slides great, an absolute blast, and it's really controllable. And you know, I've driven some cars where you get back end slides out and it's like a fish out of water, where this one here just glides, and it's absolute brilliant for that. I cannot fault this car on that one. An absolute blast. Anyway, dab on the brakes at 200 meter board, coming through here about 105 miles per hour, still warming up a little bit. You can send it through there about 110, and if you are brave enough, send it through at 115, but 115 is very brave. Anyway, breaking at 200 meter board down to about 90 miles per hour, usually hitting the apex, not a mile away like I missed it, and up the hill we go. See, we got a 1 second gap from the Honda behind, 1.8 second gap from the Hyundai in front. Top of the hill, hard braking for the corkscrew, trying not to let the car skid, and then down the hill we go. Coasting it round here, rubbing that in the curb, and then as soon as you touch that curb on your left hand side, power on down the hill, letting off, back down the third gear, coasting around this corner, try and clip in that apex, not a mile away like I missed it again, and then braking just before the 200 meter board, down to second gear, and round the last corner we go. We are losing time to the P2 position, and that lap, I must say, was very sloppy. It was not a good lap whatsoever. This lap will be better. Let's go for it. Braking at the 200 meter board, down with the brakes, 105 miles per hour, sending it through, flat out down through here. Keep it to your right hand side, and then flat out through this corner. Banking is going to help you through under the bridge, looking at for 200 meter board, down to 90 miles per hour, hitting the apex, much better than I missed it. Again. Oh dear, just that corner, sometimes I'm too focused on the 200 meter board, not focused where I should be turning the steering wheel. Braking at the top of the hill, coasting it round through the corkscrew, and then power on down the side, throwing it into third gear to destroy that wheel spin. Wheel spin is only going to slow you down, and might as well throw it into third gear, get rid of the wheel spin, and have better control of the vehicle, and also you're not going to ruin your tyres. Braking at a 200 meter board, down to second gear, turning in and accelerating out. Now you can see the latter half of that track, we was quicker and we're catching up to P2 position. We made a huge lead from P4 position though. We are now 2.9 seconds away, but 1.8 seconds away from the car in front, and that's what matters. Coasting it over the curb we go, going a little bit too early there and accelerating down through here. We are on time, we are keeping consistent with our previous best lap time. Looking at for a 200 meter board, down with the brakes, into third gear, over the curb, just like that, accelerating up the hill we go. Much better. Maybe not hit the sausage, but you can see I'm already 0.2 seconds up on that lap from just hitting that corner. Much better than what I did. Braking down second gear, through the screw we go, and chucking it in third gear, get rid of that wheel spin, and then coasting it round through here, stay in the middle, and then touching the apex, and then power on through as we give it a little touch, and then again through here, cutting that curb, there we go, accelerating through, and that is a smooth lap. That was a very good lap. So what is our lap time going to be? Going a little bit slow through the last corner, but that's fine. 0.7 seconds up. Wow, that is quite a chunk. Okay, and that's what happens when you actually do a better lap. Yeah, 107.629, not bad. Down with the brakes at 200 meter board, 110 miles per hour through the air. There we go. See, told you could do it 110. See, I told myself. Yeah, I told myself many times. Anyway, cutting the corner, up we go. You see the Hyundai went through a little bit of dirt. Looking out for the 200 meter board, braking down the third gear, coasting it through here. Usually about 90 miles per hour. Went through a little bit slow, but you can see I'm making gains on the Hyundai, and I'm also making gains on my best lap time again. Braking at the top of the hill hard, braking down the second gear, locking up a little bit there because I braked a little bit early before the car was settled back down, but it was still controllable. Anyway, coasting through here, clipping that curb, and down we go. To the left hand side, back down the third gear, trying to clip the apex a little bit better than what I did. As soon as you clip it, accelerating out the other side. 200 meter board, braking down the second gear and turning in we go. Accelerating at the side. Now we've really caught up to the car in front, and we're 1.29 seconds better. So that last corner we lost 3 tenths on there, so just to bear that in mind. We could have done a lot better if I went through that last corner much better, but here's the last lap. So let's add the pressure to Hyundai. Going through here, you can see now the Hyundai goes off track into the sand and ultimately gives themselves a 1.2 second penalty. That is quite a punishment. Wow, 1.2 seconds. Oof. Surprisingly though, this is unusual. I was confused here. I didn't know what to do, but the Hyundai surrendered the position so I can take that position. I was confused. I thought they was going to try and pit maneuver me. To be quite honest with you, honestly, that's what I had in my head. And well, it's Forza. That's all I can say. You know, it's very rare that you see courteous driving like that. They know they've got the 1.2 seconds. They see me catching up, and instead of like holding on to that position, like I say, you've lost it, you know, and that's how you should be. You know, you've lost it, might as well just move out of the way and go for it. But I've never seen it happen before, so I didn't know what to do. As we're coming across the finish line, we have P2 position. That is 2 smashing races. But let's see what happens at Watkins Glen in the next race, because that is far more chaotic. As the race starts, I've got no rev counter, no speedo, no nothing, so hit the start button and then back into the race and everything's back to normal. So if you ever get that issue that you have no HUD on the right hand side, hit the start bar and put it back into the race and you're pretty much golden. As you can see, yeah, everything's everywhere. But like I say, the great thing about this Mercedes is when the back end is out, it's far more controllable. Now the workspace and Gandalf Dragon, yeah, them two have a bit of play together and take each other out pretty much. As we're coming through here, we're looking on the left hand side for the ambulance. I did adjust the gear ratio in here, so the top speed of this car is 150 miles per hour now, because 160 did seem a little bit tall. But I massively mess up this corner and the Audi goes through and takes that position. Yeah, I got distracted by everything else that was going on and I wasn't paying attention to that. Yeah, you should brake and then turn. I mean, I may have lost one position, but I gained a few at the same time with all the chaos that was going on around. I only have to make back one position, to be fair. We are in P18 and we have 6 laps of this race, so hopefully we have to make it work. As you can see, we are massively catching up to the Audi in front, so we are much quicker through the corners than they are, which is a good sign to an extent. We are at the back of the pack, I'd like to add. Right, looking at the left hand side for the 200 meter board, braking hard down to 3rd gear and then cutting into the corner, going a little bit wide through there, just missing the apex because I'm focusing on the 200 meter board sign again. And like I said, this is where I've got to realise I know the 200 meter sign there, I don't need to look at it and then turn in. I should just go, I know it's there, and look at where I'm turning. Simple yet silly little mistakes that are being made that don't need to be made. Anyway, you can see where the top speed of this car isn't all there because the Audi was pulling away, but I wasn't catching on them or losing from them really either. But we do gain another position because the MG goes off track. I do take it wide away from them because I thought they would come on a lot further. Looking at HUD on the right hand side, accelerating out the corner. You see this car is much quicker mid-corner than the MG and the other cars have driven, which is an absolute blast because mid to exit, this is where this car shines. Braking at a 200 meter board, turning in 4th gear, usually about 95 to 100 miles an hour through there, keeping your left hand side, braking again. I'm going down to third gear because the cars in front are going a little bit slow. Go a little bit quicker through there and maximize that corner a lot more. But we are in P17, which isn't too bad. It is a very full lobby, this race. Looking out for the 200 meter board, braking down to third gear, turning in for the apex there, and then powering on. Could have gone through a lot quicker there. Like I say, I'm in a position where I wasn't close enough to the Audi to make the move, so I might as well just sit back and relax for a moment and then make a move further down the line. As you can see, the Audi is making a move on the Peugeot. Peugeot then blocks the corner, so I do the very quick switcheroo there, and they door bang me. Yeah, I don't get it. Braking out the ambulance, down to fourth gear, 100 miles per hour through the bus stop, and accelerating out the other side. Audi is a little bit sloppy through there, and I have no idea how they managed that one, but end up going off track. Blue hut on the right hand side, start accelerating out the corner. You can see I'm pulling away from the Peugeot behind, which is brilliant. 0.7 seconds away. I need a 0.8 before they're out of my slipstream. There it is. That's what we need. Looking out for a 200 meter board, down to fourth gear, coasting it around through this corner, accelerating out, and then coming up to the next corner, down with the brakes again, 95 miles per hour. We're up in that curve and accelerating out the other side, and we're catching up to the orange VW in front. As you're coming over the start and finish line, looking on your left hand side for the 200 meter board, braking down to third gear and turning in. This is much better, much slower as well, actually, to be fair, much slower. But now I just need to make a move on the VW in front. This is where we're starting to catch up to the latter pack. I wouldn't call it mid-pack, it's like the latter mid-pack. Because we are only in P15 position. So that is probably about, what, 5 cars in front? That'll bring us to P10 if we can pass this lot. Now, passing this lot is easier said than done. Well, there's one off. There's two. There we are in P13 position. Okay. So one went into the wall, one went wide, and I went up the inside. There we go. Now you can see one's already been forced to the outside. Now I just need to try and capitalize on this carnage that's going on in front. Well, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Looking at the 200 meter board on the right side, down with the brakes into fourth gear, coasting it through. You see the train ahead is starting to get a bit squirrely because everybody's looking for a position to make. Hyundai gets punted off into the wall, and in up the inside we go. Port network has just come up on my screen. That's lovely. Unless it was already there, I didn't notice it. I don't remember seeing it. Looking out for the 200 meter board, down in third gear and turning in. And accelerating out the other side. There we go. I ultimately let off because there was no way I was going to be quick enough to make a move on that Audi there, so I might as well tuck in behind, get a slingshot, a bit of slipstream as they go up the grass bank. Now that could be them actually hitting the grass bank or the poor network, one or the other, but surprisingly enough they didn't lose any speed. Weird. Okay, so looking out for the ambulance on the left hand side, breaking it down to fourth gear, 100 miles per hour, cars going everywhere. Thank you very much, guys. That is another 2 positions gained. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Looking out for the blue hut on the right hand side and accelerating out the corner, and away we go. We're in P9. P9, absolute blast. Thank you to the bus stop 2 times in a row. Twice in a row. However you say it. Looking out for the 200 meter board, down to fourth gear, coasting it through this corner, accelerating out the other side, and then again, dab of the brakes, hitting the apex, and then powering on through, and trying to break away from the Hyundai that is behind me. Last thing I want to do here, that fart can catching up to me, but they are 0.7 seconds away. Looking out for the 200 meter board, braking into third gear, clipping the apex and accelerating out the other side, and that is how you do it. Much, much better. Right, we are trying to break away from them, 0.8 seconds away. Like I said, the Mercedes isn't the fastest, but I'm starting to warm to it. To be fair, this lap is an absolute blast in this car. I can't really fault it whatsoever. Could do with a few more horsepowers, but yeah, it's been an absolute gem to drive. Especially now I've adjusted the gear ratios and the brake pressure. I got the brake pressure down to like 87%, so I can push the brake down harder without locking up, and it really have to be flat on 100% to have lockup. Anyway, look out for the blue hut on the right hand side, accelerating out the corner, and away we go. Now if I remember, I will put the tune in the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, the link is in the description down below. come and join the Discord. We have weekly races. It's an absolute blast. A lot of other things going on. So come and join us all in the Discord and have a laugh. And if you're enjoying what you've seen here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As we're crossing the finish line, we are in P9 position. But if you want to see how good the focus is, have a look at this next video.